Sorry to just interrupt this vlog, but if you notice, it says Stafford Boat Club, goodbye, and we have the question mark and all that. But there's a reason. So what's going to happen is, on our next vlog after this one you've watched, you will see us leaving Stafford Boat Club. I know it seems silly, but you'll see us leaving. But the reason is, we did the editing of Stafford Boat Club, and this is one of our specials, what we want to do. And the weather had been horrendous. Rain, 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 wind, everything. And when we edited and put it together, we thought, that's not good enough. So we've decided we're going to revisit later in the year. So probably 8 to 10 weeks down the line, you will see Stafford Boat Club as it should be, because it's well worth seeing. So remember, the next vlog you see will be us waving bye-bye to Stafford Boat Club. We did go and have a great time, but the videoing, because of the weather, wasn't to the standard that we liked and thought the place deserved. Now, on with the latest vlog. Hi everyone. Well, today we're setting off from near Otherton Marina. That's where we moored up last night. But the motorway sounded a bit louder than what I remembered it. So it's been, as they say, the M6 never sleeps, and so it was quite, it's been quite noisy. But that's compensated by another fine day. I'm almost turning into a weatherman a number of times that comment on weather, but it feels just nice, and it's a medium early start. It's about 7:45 in the morning at the moment, but that's for us, that's quite a late start. So away we go. You can't stop everywhere. You just can't. But coming up on the left here now is a pub called the Cross Keys. Now this didn't have anything near it for years. It was a purely boatman's pub, and it was mentioned in Rolt's book Narrowboat. It was just talked about quite a bit. But nowadays it's still extremely popular, but obviously all the housing has built up round here as well. But in its time, the Cross Keys was just an out and out boatman's pub and nothing else. And just a little bit further down, you'll know why it was popular. Because there's something what you can't see, but was there years ago. But you could understand why there was many boatmen who wetted their thirst and had a few beers, and no doubt a little bit of scuffling and things like that, like they used to do. Well, this lock's called Finance Lock, which is no issue, but we've had a bit of an emergency call from CRT. Because what we do, we on each canal we're on, we there's a setup where you can have a text sent from CRT to your phone, or an email if it's really really dire, telling you if there's any issues with anything. And we've had something, and this is all over the internet, this, but I can't see any problems. But they're saying that the walls in this lock have actually come in a bit, So they said it's the very older boats could be getting stuck. And the coal boat has said he's had the issues, but lucky enough we seem to be having no problems at all, and let's hope it stays like that. That some of these locks do leak in a bit, you know, sometimes, and that's not good. We're fair off having to have something done. But there's plenty like that where it falls in. Not a one-off that. Well, that's our first lock of the day done. Freelance lock, expecting a problem and not got any. Now, as we're coming towards Penkridge, which does have an absolutely fabulous market, it's huge. It's a nice little town, Penkridge, and there's a lovely pub in the centre of town. I'm not too fussy on the one near the bridge, but there's the one called the Stair in the centre of town where I like. But round here, there's quite a bit of history, but you can't see it. And I'll try to explain in my own words. But on the right hand side was a huge, an absolutely huge canal basin, and this canal basin was there because there was a massive colliery, a massive local colliery. As usual, it's coal what's driving all this. And it employed over 1,000 men, this colliery. And what it was, all the boats used to come here. So hence, just a little way back, you can understand why the Cross Keys pub was very, very popular, because there was just loads of boats coming here. And they also had a very clever idea. The boats were loaded by gravity, hence the coal was at higher level and it just fell into the boats, which is a little bit different. But like I say, you can't see it because the M6 motorway was built over it. We were coming to the lock near the pub what we don't like. I can see we've had a few vandals here. It doesn't normally get anything here, but we've got a bit of graffiti. But at the moment, Bernadette's giving instructions. She's doing a bit of training for somebody. She does relish talking to people and that when she's out and about. Now we're coming through Penkridge Lock now. Now normally, we'll see, but normally these moorings are jam-packed here. I'm not too keen on these. I keep saying that, but I'm not too keen on these moorings either, because they do alter in height quite a lot depending how much the lock's used. But they are really popular, and I suppose it's because you can go into town to the shops, or if the market's on you'll get nowhere near it here. It is jam-packed then. So like I say, it's always proven to be very popular here. This is somewhere else what tickles me. If you was in a car, you've got right away, but there seems to be a rule here where you just keep coming whatever happens on your boat. Unbelievable. It's just some weird hot canals with that. If you were coming along, they won't stop, and they'll come and make life difficult. That's always been like that. That's nothing new. I tend to just hang back and let people come through if they've what I consider got right away. But as you can see, some will come with whatever happens. The motorway started to make appearances again over there, so I think we get close to it shortly. But, it stays with us for about an hour and a half, I think it does, and then it disappears for good. Now, for the first time this year, there's actually a boat waiting in a lock, so we're in a queue. So as I've thought as I've been coming down, at last the canals are coming alive and people are starting to use the boats, because there is a lot of people who only use a seasonal boaters, as I call them. But I really enjoy it when it starts to come alive, and you see all the people who get very happy in the sunshine, and all the happy faces on the hire boaters as well. It's something I really like seeing. If you look carefully again, doesn't take much to work this one out, but this pound is actually close to a foot down now, which is not good. Well, in a future video we're going to show you something else, not relating to the actual going around on the on our tour as such, but relating to some of the things we've got, what we use on the canals. Well, this is as close as we're going to get now. This is, we're going under the M6, the manic M6 motorway. Just as quick as everything is, one little thing goes wrong, or one big thing, and that motorway stops dead, and you could be queued for hours. But from this point, as you see us going through now, we're going under the motorway bridge. From this point, it slowly goes further and further away, but it's still gonna, we're still going to be hearing it for the next, probably the next half an hour. But at least now, God, when you look here, I'm just looking how wide it is. Just realise how much traffic goes up and down these things. But like I was saying, at least now we are actually distancing ourselves from the motorway and going back to a more rural setting. Even though the Staffs Worcs does have a lot more urban areas than what the Shropshire Union did. I certainly prefer my pace and the way I feel rather than being above. You know, once upon a time I was a car nut, mad on cars and all that, but I'm not as crazy about it now. I think I've turned my attentions to narrowboats and I prefer to see things like that. I might be getting old, that's why. Right, we're in a place called Teddersleigh. Not much here, but incredibly popular. Again, amazed because the noise of the motorway is unbelievable. But we stayed here, over here, I'll just show you. If you look over there, there's some unusual moorings there. You just tie your boat at the back and then to the boat next to you. And we had a small part we needed for the engine a few years ago, and we spent about 3 or 4 days there. No, it was about 4 days waiting for it. But it wasn't the most exciting place to wait. Well, we've one more lock left after this, and then it's on to our destination for the next few days. And away we go.
Yeah, it's done.
One more lock.
Exactly.
And then that's it, as they say. Yeah, I've just noticed when I'm just moored up here, I got that wrong about locks, because we have got another one after this. This is Shut Hill Lock, and then we've got one more. So when I said previously that it was next to the last lock, that was my mistake. So we've got 2 more locks as it stands now. Still a nice easy day though. All I can think with quite a few people being round, there must be quite a few boats at the bottom, or, very unusually, we've got a few gongoozlers on this particular lock.
Designing flowers to stick on my shorts. There's a little one there, that one, and I'll just stitch them onto my shorts to make them a little bit funky. See, that's why I'm not always at the tiller, because I'm doing the locks, I'm doing my crocheting, I'm making snacks, pouring drinks. Do you know, the life of a boat woman, oh, it's just so frantic.
And I'm stood at the back and you don't see me, sweating and struggling to keep the boat straight and keep everything calm on board. Said the captain does a lot what's not seen, you see. Just giving you the customary little bit of scenery, what's around, as they say, just for a few seconds before we get back to some boating. And Bernadette's still doing crocheting bit by bit in front. So it's dual function at the back at the moment, steering and crocheting. Well, this one really is the last lock of the day, Detmoor lock. So we're not far off our destination now, which all will be revealed shortly. Bernadette's giving her instructions again. She'd definitely be at a loss, Bernadette, if she wasn't doing the locks, I'll tell you. It's a conversation with everybody about anything.
able to jump on the back of it.
Okay.